Nobody expected Antarctica to open like this, but when the ice split apart, researchers looked down and saw something that absolutely should not be there. At first, it looked like a normal ice collapse, until they moved closer and realized the walls dropped onto something shaped, massive, and disturbingly precise. Ice can crack, sink, and shift, but it does not produce straight terraces, repeating edges, and giant symmetrical surfaces buried thousands of feet below. This wasn't a ruin somebody had already studied. The surface looked freshly uncovered, like the continent had kept it hidden until that exact moment. From above, the pattern got worse, because the deeper they mapped it, the more it looked planned, measured, and built with terrifying precision. And the worst part was this: what they could see near the top wasn't the structure. It was only the first visible layer. Then they noticed the openings, not random fractures, but recessed entrances, passages, and sealed voids cut into something waiting behind the ice. Standing there, they looked microscopic, like a few people accidentally walking into a place built for a scale no human should understand. Which leads to the question that changes everything. If something this huge was here the whole time, how many others are still buried? Because what they found beneath the ice was only the beginning, and the deeper the scans went, the less this looked natural. The first thing they did was measure it, because if this was real, the numbers would confirm everything they were seeing down there. Within minutes, the scale became undeniable, because the visible sections alone were already larger than anything anyone expected to find beneath solid Antarctic ice. Then the scans came back, and that's where everything changed, because the structure didn't stop where the eye could see it. What looked like a surface exposure turned out to be only the top, with layer after layer continuing far below anything they had expected. And it wasn't empty either. The deeper they scanned, the more they saw how tightly everything was built together, like space had been used deliberately. Natural formations don't repeat like this, but what they were seeing showed alignment, symmetry, and patterns that suggested something far beyond random geological formation. Some of the lines extended perfectly straight for distances that ice movement simply cannot produce, which made the discovery even harder to explain. But strangely, there were no tools, no debris, no signs of construction, just the structure itself, almost like it had been left untouched. Even more confusing was how well it was preserved, because the surrounding ice showed damage, but the structure itself remained almost perfectly intact. And just when they thought they had mapped it, the signals kept going deeper into something that none of their equipment could fully read. The next discovery changed everything again, because beneath the main structure, they found tunnels extending outward, perfectly straight and far too precise to be natural. These tunnels didn't bend, shift, or collapse like ice normally does. They remained perfectly straight across distances that shouldn't be possible underground. Then they reached the first junction, where multiple tunnels split in different directions, forming a network instead of a single isolated passage beneath the structure. What made it worse was this: none of the tunnels had visible endings. They simply disappeared into darkness, leading somewhere completely unknown. And it wasn't just horizontal movement. Vertical shafts connected different layers, suggesting the structure wasn't just wide, but extended downward in a controlled system. The deeper they looked, the more it resembled engineered support, with massive pillars positioned to hold the surrounding pressure, preventing collapse in impossible conditions. Even stranger, airflow patterns were detected, subtle movement through shafts that suggested the system was designed to circulate air beneath the ice. Then came the water channels, carved pathways directing meltwater through the structure, controlled and deliberate, not random like natural ice fractures would create. At that point, it became clear this wasn't just a structure, it was a system: tunnels, airflow, water control, all working together beneath the ice. But the most disturbing part was this: the tunnels didn't stop at the structure, they continued outward, extending far beyond anything they had mapped.
When they extended the scans outward, they realized something even more impossible. The tunnels weren't contained, they stretched far beyond the original structure. And these weren't random paths either. They followed straight directional lines, cutting across the landscape with a level of precision that couldn't be accidental. Some of those lines appeared to align with known geological features beneath Antarctica, suggesting whatever created them understood the terrain on a massive scale. Then came the theory that changed everything. This wasn't one isolated site. It could be part of a much larger network buried beneath the continent. But the deeper they tried to trace it, the more the tunnels vanished into unknown areas, with no clear endpoints anywhere in the data. Every branch they found led to more unanswered paths, each one suggesting that most of this system still hadn't been discovered or mapped. What made it worse was the consistency. Distant sections looked identical, as if they were built using the same method across massive distances. That level of consistency suggested something else: central planning, like the entire system had been designed from a single source or point. And when they compared what they had mapped to what remained unknown, it became clear that most of the system was still hidden. Which leaves one final question. If these tunnels extend this far, where exactly do they go, and what else is still hidden beneath the ice? Standing inside it, the scale became undeniable, because even with modern technology, building something like this under ice would be nearly impossible today. Even if it could be built, the time required would span beyond any known civilization, far longer than anything recorded in human history. And even with thousands of workers, the scale suggests that human labor alone couldn't complete something this vast within any realistic time frame. Then there's the environment, because building beneath kilometers of shifting ice in extreme cold conditions would make even basic construction almost impossible. There's also no evidence of tools capable of producing cuts this precise, especially in conditions like these, which raises even more questions. Strangely, the structure itself shows almost no damage, even though the surrounding ice has shifted, cracked, and changed over thousands of years. Everything about it suggests planning, from airflow to structural support, meaning whoever built this understood engineering at a level far beyond expectations. But even with all this complexity, no clear purpose has been identified, leaving scientists unsure what this entire system was actually built for. That uncertainty has led to theories, some suggesting unknown civilizations, others proposing something entirely different, because nothing about this discovery fits known history. And just when they thought they understood it, the deeper layers revealed something even more complex, suggesting this structure might only be part of something bigger. When they examined it closely, they noticed something unexpected. The materials weren't consistent, suggesting the structure may not have been built all at once. Instead, the structure appeared layered, with different sections built at different times, each layer showing slight changes in design and construction technique. Some parts looked older and less refined, while others showed higher precision, suggesting whoever built it improved their methods over time. The vertical shafts confirmed this idea, connecting different layers like phases of construction, almost as if the structure kept growing deeper over time. Even the airflow systems weren't identical. Some sections appeared more advanced, suggesting improvements were made after the original parts were already built. The same pattern appeared in water channels, where earlier designs looked simpler, while deeper sections showed more controlled and efficient flow systems. Despite these differences, everything still worked together, meaning each new layer wasn't random. It was added intentionally to connect with what already existed. But again, even with all of this development, no clear purpose emerged, making it harder to understand why this entire system was actually built for. That uncertainty has led to theories, some suggesting unknown civilizations, others proposing something entirely different, because nothing about this discovery fits known history. And just when they thought they understood it, the deeper layers revealed something even more complex.
At this point, the question wasn't just what this is, but who could have possibly built something like this beneath Antarctica. Some researchers believe it could be the work of a lost civilization, one that existed long before recorded history and developed advanced construction techniques. Others point out that Antarctica wasn't always frozen, suggesting this structure could have been built before the ice covered the entire continent.
The complexity of the system suggests knowledge far beyond what we expect from ancient builders, raising the possibility that their understanding was far more advanced. Then there are those who think it might not fit into any known historical category at all, because nothing about it matches anything previously discovered. Another theory suggests it was intentionally buried, not destroyed, but hidden beneath the ice as if it was meant to stay out of sight. That could explain why it remains so well preserved, because the ice may have acted as a protective layer, sealing it away from time. Its remote location also raises questions, because Antarctica is one of the least accessible places on Earth, making discoveries like this incredibly rare. Some even wonder whether discoveries like this are always fully revealed, or if certain findings remain classified due to their potential implications. Because if this structure has remained hidden for this long, it raises one final possibility, that something deeper was never meant to be discovered. Now that they understood the scale, the next step was clear but also dangerous, because going deeper meant entering areas no one had ever seen. The deeper scans didn't just reveal more, they started to fail, as if something below was interfering with their ability to see further. And despite all their equipment, the team itself was small, barely enough to explore even a fraction of what had been uncovered. Above them, the environment remained unstable and violent, yet beneath it, everything was controlled, stable, and almost untouched by the chaos above. Some began to believe this wasn't just lost history, but lost knowledge, something that existed before and was somehow removed or forgotten over time. Because no matter how far they went, there were no signs of builders, no tools, no remains, just the structure itself, which made it seem even more intentional, like whatever built this either disappeared or made sure the structure would eventually be hidden. And eventually, all paths seemed to lead back to one place, a sealed section that no scan had been able to fully penetrate. Because beyond that barrier, there was something deeper, something none of their tools could read, and something no one had ever entered. What started as a small discovery quickly became a large operation, with more teams arriving to study something that was clearly far bigger. The more they mapped it, the more everything connected, forming a system that stretched beyond a single site into something much larger. And if something like this exists beneath Antarctica, it raises a bigger possibility that similar structures could exist beneath other parts of the world. But even after all the data, one question remains unanswered. What was this system actually built for, and why was it hidden so completely? Because what they've discovered so far is only a fraction, with most of the system still completely hidden beneath layers of ice. And that sealed section still remains, untouched, unexplored, and completely unknown, holding whatever lies beyond it out of reach. Which raises a final concern, because if something was hidden this carefully, opening it might reveal more than anyone is prepared to handle. Because this may not just be one location, it could be part of something far bigger, something that exists beneath the surface of the Earth itself. And if entire worlds can exist beneath our feet without being seen, what else could be hidden right now that we haven't discovered yet? Because this discovery doesn't end here. It only opens the possibility that what we've found might just be the beginning of something much bigger. If you enjoy real history that feels unreal, subscribe and like the video so you don't miss the next story.